I'm just coming on. I'm a little late. I do apologize.
Wonderful. Okay, 1 second, and then we will start. Hi, Stella. Good morning. Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Angela Burns with 1 Million Cups, and it is time for us to get started. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're so excited to have two awesome presenters this morning. We have Jennifer with Milestonia, and then we have Fatuma, and we have David, also her partner, with Tulindi. And so we're going to get started real quick. Amy, would you do me a favor and click through? Do you have a presentation you want to click through? Amy, I'm going to make you a co-host as well. Okay, I'm making you a co-host, Amy. Okay, wonderful. First of all, do we have any community announcements before we get started? Any community announcements? If not, we'll go ahead and get started. The mission for 1 Million Cups is basically to lower the barrier to access to education, resources, and connection for all types of new and aspiring entrepreneurs throughout the United States. We are national and local, so we have a national mission and a local mission, and we are working towards making sure that we're creating consistent educational opportunities for each of the 1 Million Cups presenters nationwide. And we're also highlighting the uniqueness and value proposition that your local startup community, and we'll provide you support as well. Okay, 1 Million Cups core format and key pillars. We utilize our 1 Million Cups key pillars and core programs to cultivate and maintain a safe learning environment for our brave presenting entrepreneurs each week across the nation. So each week we are caffeinizing several entrepreneurs with support to help them with their businesses, and we welcome the presenters, and we always encourage them to come back after the presentation and maybe talk about some of the things that they've implemented based on the suggestions from the 1 Million Cups local chapter, and give them a chance to give us an update on where they are and if they need any additional help. Amy, would you like to add anything else?
That sounds great. I have nothing to add.
Wonderful. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Jen. And again, I just wanted to see if there are any community announcements from anyone. And if not, we'll go ahead and get started with Jen, and then we'll come back. We'll give her 6 minutes on the clock to present, and then we'll have 20 minutes for Q&A. And then we'll move on to the next speaker. So let me introduce Miss Jen, and Jen is with Milestonia, and Milestonia is a company that helps companies create an accountability structure and a culture, and this helps them to be more productive, more profitable, and also deliver improved results.
You got that down, Angela.
Did I?
Awesome.
Wonderful. So now I will turn it over to Miss Jen.
Great.
Share your screen. Thank you.
Let me know when you can see my screen. Okay. So I'm Jennifer Appy. I'm CEO and co-founder of Milestonia, and we are passionate about helping small businesses to succeed. We're here today to ask about your feedback on our story and our presentation, suggestions for free workshops that will lead to a conversation about Milestonia, find out if there's anyone who wants to work with us, and wanted to let everyone know that we're offering free accounts through the end of March. So Milestonia's story is best told through the story of Sam, head of a software company whose sales were declining 30% year over year. With Milestonia to create better focus and alignment for his team, He was able to result in 40% year-over-year growth over the past 2 years while decreasing expenses and headcount and resulting in bottom line productivity and profitability. This is also the story of James, whose agency was able to enjoy 30% year-over-year growth with modest investment, and he created better empowerment and camaraderie because his team knew exactly what they needed to do, and they helped each other, and they had fun doing it. So we're delivering better business outcomes by helping leaders create accountability cultures that are fun. And this is what it looks like in a team meeting with Milestonia, where leaders recognize people for achieving their goals, which earns points and rewards for the team. And that's the dashboard of Milestonia to the right. We're most proud of what team members say. Their opinions are what's important because they are the ones delivering business results that impact the bottom line. So the old way of motivating a team might have included dangling carrots or sideline coaching, or aligning them to the work that matters with performance management software, rewards software, or task management, project management, or CRM software to keep them aligned. So the new way is about aligning the team around the work that matters using OKRs, EOS, whatever goal setting method you use, and making work fun with welcome gifts, points and rewards, leaderboards, gifts for making progress, and a clear dashboard. So Milestonia helps leaders manage work in a way that creates social accountability. Our processes create clarity, transparency, visibility, and communication, and leaders can enjoy greater productivity, professional development, and employee retention. This is an example of Milestonia's dashboard showing goal progress used for weekly check-in meetings. With so many companies going remote with their workforce, Milestonia goal management is what companies need today to build camaraderie, retain their workforce, and navigate the new normal. And the need for fun and focus is a big opportunity. 90% of businesses are small businesses with less than 100 employees. And small businesses face tough odds. Many do not achieve their goals, which leads to a myriad of other problems. Only 34% of workers feel engaged at work, and CEOs do state the need for productivity engagement. But this is the problem that we're trying to solve. We believe that helping companies achieve their goals in a fun and engaging way is the way to help small businesses succeed. So Milestonia can be viewed as a frictionless goal management coach, helping each team member be the best contributor they can be. Our mission is to create that ecosystem around the team member that gets teams to a new level of productivity and engagement. We'll provide the software that includes goal management, goal progress coaching, and career upskilling. We can create partnerships with course providers, exec coaches, rewards and recognition tools, and performance management tools as needed. Our current offering is a SaaS software platform at $5 to $10 per user per month. So large companies can afford a tech stack with multiple tools, plus consultants to implement their employee engagement and productivity processes. Plus, they also have IT and HR departments to implement and train their employees. For smaller companies, Milestonia offers enough functionality to replace the tech stack at a fraction of the price. Integrations do exist if you need to use a enterprise software systems such as Salesforce or Lattice or Asana, but often these enterprise software tools are expensive and they have way more functionality than a small company needs. So Milestonia makes it affordable for small companies to have what they need to propel their growth. And this is where we're finding product market fit. Milestonia is not industry specific. It's been adopted by companies in a variety of industries. We're always networking with founders groups, small business groups, and consultants that can help us reach companies that are looking for a better way to lead. Implementation is guided. We support companies to achieve success with a 3-stage process that includes discovery, roadmap, and quarterly check-ins. And details about this plan is on our website, where we explain how we help create accountability cultures. To get more companies to experience the benefits of Milestonia, we engage them in conversations via workshops where we show leaders and team members how to create accountability cultures in a fun way. And now I would love to get your feedback on our story, these topics, whether you know of anybody who'd like to join our team, and whether you'd like to try Milestonia for free. So thank you very much.
Wow, wonderful. Hand claps, Jen.
Thank you.
This was awesome. This is such a cool, cool company. And I love the way that you guys are really honing in on how do you, make achieving those goals fun. That really builds up the morale for companies and also employees. I love that you guys do that. Okay, wonderful. So, so we have a 20-minute Q&A for Jen, and so who is reading from the chat box? Is that Terencia?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So, do we have any questions in comments in the chat box for Miss Jen?
Hey, this is Stella. Can I ask a question through the audio?
Oh, yeah, sure, Miss Stella.
Hi, Jean. How are you? I'm sorry, Jennifer. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Are you a consulting firm, by the way? It sounds like you're.
Well, we do work with businesses. I mean, if they need more help than the 8 hours that we include when we help to set up Milestonia, we will help them. Think about how to define their goals. We have a process that we call North Star, nearest star goal setting, where we help leaders to think about, where do you want your company to be in 1 or 2 years, and how do you get your team there in the next 3 months. So we will work with companies on that. We will also help them establish processes if they don't already exist, processes around check-in, around giving feedback, and around having discussions with the team when things aren't going well, because oftentimes that's sometimes the hardest conversation to have. But we don't view ourselves as a consulting company. We are a software company, but we will help companies when we can.
Okay.
Wonderful.
The reason I asked is the way you presented it. I've done consulting. I'm in IT/business, and it sounded like you can send people to a certain company to help them bring themselves up. So it sounded close to a consulting firm. Okay, thanks.
And I should mention, we also do welcome if consultants want to work with us and use Milestonia as a tool in order to help their companies succeed when they're doing their engagements. We enjoy that partnership. We don't view ourselves as a consulting company. We consult out of necessity. We want to partner with consultants and offer our tool that way.
I don't know how I can get in touch with you so we can take it offline. We don't engage everybody.
Yeah, let me, I can put my information in the chat.
Okay,
yeah, wonderful. Sure. Yeah, if you could put your information in the chat, and that way everyone can get in contact with you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions or comments for Ms. Jen before I chime in?
I have a question. I have a question. Is Bill?
Hi, Bill.
Hi. If I understand, you're basically trying to gamify work processes and have accountability. The 2 questions I have is, 1, I didn't realize that this is an issue, and then 2, what's the size of your market that you're envisioning, and what % do you think you can attain?
So we estimate in the US, there are about 7 million companies that have fewer than 50 employees and that make over $1 million in revenue. And that's kind of our sweet spot. We want companies to have proven themselves. They know how to generate revenue. Now they just need to scale.
So is that about a $70 million market you're saying?
So, well, the target slice that we're looking at. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
And then,
the overall TAM is, 90% of businesses in the world are small businesses under 100 employees.
okay. And then could you talk a little bit about the need? I didn't understand that there was such a need for accountability at the workplace.
Yeah. Well, 90% of companies don't reach their goals and 50% of them fail because of cash flow. And a lot of that we believe is because, of an inability to engage the team, set the goals, articulate them, and establish the processes in order to get the company on track. So we believe that if we can help leaders do that easily and help them build accountability cultures and engage their teams, that can help them succeed. The research that we read is around employee engagement, productivity, and the stats that we see are that 34%, only 34% of people are engaged, and CEOs often say that the reason why they don't meet their goals is because they're needing to align their team.
Are there other solutions out in the marketplace, or is it really for the larger businesses have a solution, and this is more geared to smaller businesses?
You got it. It's exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And I can definitely see that as a problem to solve because, if you just think about it, with the pandemic and the situation we're in right now, people have a lot, that they're dealing with. And so coming to work and you may not have the right or effective leadership, this can help leaders make the work environment more engaging, for employees. So I can definitely see a need for it. And, and when you do that, you do make, you hit your goals, you reward your employees, you improve morale. And at the end of the day, that's more profitability for the company. Yes.
I understand. Thank you.
Yeah. Bill, thank you so much for your questions. The other thing that we find is that companies will tell us that they love our tool because it's very simple to use. I think sometimes software companies, in order to be able to meet everyone's needs, put in a lot of bells and whistles, and it tends to make the software complicated. And one of the things that we've been striving for is that simplicity that will allow a small company to be up and running within hours, as long as they know what their goals are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the way that you made it simple. And I think your presentation was very engaging with the animations and everything. So I think it brought more fun to your presentation too, which tells more about your product and the good connection you have with it. So yeah, love that. Any other questions in the chat box?
I have a question. So my name is Deidre Kendrick, but Jennifer, great presentation, wonderful. So I may have missed it, but employee morale for personal development on an individualized basis. Did you have anything in your Milestonia for that? Because people feel like the companies that they work for don't care about them, don't care about their personal growth. So I may have missed it and I apologize. Do you have anything in there for that, for making people feel like, oh yes, there is not a glass ceiling. I can do some personal development in addition to being a part of the company, being a player in the company?
Deirdre, I'm glad you asked that question. It's something that we actually talk a lot about. When users, or when leaders are onboarding their teams and they're asking us for recommendations, we'll make those suggestions that sometimes a combination of professional and personal goals is something that they can make public so that everybody can support everybody else in those goals. Sometimes there are companies that actually are doing that already, where they actually celebrate. There's one company I work with, that's all they put into Milestonia actually was their personal goals, because they have a culture within the company to support each other in meeting those personal goals. And they believe that by doing that on a weekly basis, it actually creates the camaraderie that gets the work for the company done. So if companies ask us, we'll engage in that conversation. Not all do. And one of the things that we've been talking about as a team is including culture questions or including questions that ask individuals to reflect on how they're doing and how they're feeling about their job, and feeding that information back to the leader so they can keep tabs on the pulse of the company and see what things people feel they need that may not be completely work related, but are related to them as a person, that can help them be more successful as a person and therefore more successful as a team member. So I'm glad you brought that up, because it is something that we feel is important for us to include in the tool going forward based on the conversations we've had.
Awesome. I love that answer, because I was reading somewhere else. I was reading a personal development book about, you know, asking your employees about their family. How's their, you know, how's their health and work-life balance within their family? Because that warms my heart when people say, well, how's your mom? How are you doing? You know, what personal development, you know, your kids, you know, what's going on? Because people have so much going on these days. And for an employer to show that they care means a heck of a lot. So thank you for your presentation, and thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. That's good feedback, Deidre. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So question, Jen, have you considered leveraging LinkedIn to talk about your platform and what you guys offer as a company, maybe in the form of, like, you know, posting a weekly article, or maybe even LinkedIn ads to promote your company?
Yeah, I'd love to ask the group, what would you, I guess, what would get you to click on an article or an ad? What would we be talking about that would get your attention? I'd love to hear from the group to see what you think would be appropriate for us.
So in my mind, I would think any type of articles or tidbits relating to performance, setting goals, employee engagement, team engagement, all of those things that your company can provide and solve. And so what I would suggest is creating a content calendar for Facebook and also LinkedIn. So I would suggest creating a Facebook group, so that way you have small businesses who can join your Facebook group, and maybe on a weekly basis, you maybe do a live demo or a Q&A or something like that, just to give them kind of overview about your product and how it works. The simplicity is going to be key for you. The second thing I would do is for your content calendar. So you decide, let's say, I'm gonna make this up, you're gonna post 3 times a week in Facebook, 3 times a week in LinkedIn, or twice a week in LinkedIn, and what the topics would be for Facebook, and then what your topics would be for LinkedIn.
You're hired, Angela.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would love to sit
We need to
help.
talk later.
Yes. Yeah, I'm so available. I would love to sit and help you create that, because I love content strategy as well. And then, you know, think about some of the things that the leadership teams have to deal with, some of their pain points, and you turn that around and flip it and talk about how your team and your product can solve that. I think that would be awesome. We can create a content calendar for you, you know, every month, and it'll make it a little bit easier. And your articles don't have to be long. It could just be just about, you know, key research points, and you know, just kind of drive awareness. And then you can also do like a LinkedIn Live. I've seen that a lot. People doing like LinkedIn Lives and just to show demos. So those are options for you. That can help. The other thing I think would really help is, have you heard of Clubhouse?
I don't know much about it. I've heard of it though.
So Clubhouse is just like an audio social media tool. That's the best way I can describe it. But you can create the rooms about everything that you can possibly think of. And so it's a good way to get leads. You can go into some of these different rooms that are appealing to you, and they allow you to ask questions, you know, about their topics. You know, the topics are there are like 1,000 topics, so everybody has a room. And what you could do is you could submit a request to create your own room, your own workspace, to where you're speaking to like how to have more higher performing and engaging teams. And you can invite people in to that space, that room, and you could talk about your product, just talk about the pain points. So you can take the same content calendar you have and create something for Clubhouse. And I think with Clubhouse, you have to have, I think you're required to have a certain number of sessions per week. It may be 2 or 3. Don't quote me on it, but yeah, you got to, and we can talk offline more about this.
Great, thank you.
Definitely. No problem. Any other questions or comments for Miss Jen?
Yes, we have one in the chat from Amy. She's asking that she loves gamified aspect of Milestonia. Have you considered extending your service to the education sphere? That she's a college student and uses Notion currently, and have professors that use Notion and Slack, but those require a lot of front-end setup. So just reiterate, the question is, have you considered extending your services to the education sphere?
You know, Amy, that's really interesting. I'd love to talk with you more about that and see how that would fit. We've actually gotten some traction in a different space that we didn't expect. Families with teenage children who are applying to college, or for whom, you know, the parents don't want to create too much friction, but they want to be clear about what they expect. And so, you know, parents talk to their kids and they declare goals, you know, once a quarter, and then the kids put in their updates. We're starting to test that out. But I definitely think that your question is interesting, because it's that, you know, 15 years old to 30-year-old, worker that we often find loves to use our tool because they like using apps to do things. So I'd love to connect with you offline, Amy. That's very interesting.
Absolutely, yes. I'd love to talk about that more.
Great, great.
And you know what else, when I'm thinking about this, the hospitality industry could be a really good option for you as well, because with, you know, just with the pandemic and what nurses have to deal with and doctors, you know, something to help build that morale and fun engagement would help as well. But then you have also other types of companies within hospitality that could be, you know, a good fit for this product. Yeah. Awesome.
Great. Thank you. I'd love to explore that with you too. Great questions. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah. Yay, Bill.
I put all of my information into the chat, so please feel free to reach out, especially if you want to try the tool. We love working with groups from 1 Million Cups because you guys give us some really good, honest feedback, and it's really helpful.
Well, I truly think you have a wonderful and exciting product, and I think it would help make leaders better at leading with this tool. I really do believe that. Awesome. Any other questions or comments for Ms. Jen?
I have a comment. So there is a lot of business owner related networking groups in Eventbrite. I have found some tremendous help with being able to outsource and reach out to other business owners across the United States. So there are several. So go check some of those out, because sometimes they have where you can pay for a commercial to educate on your services to these business owners that are across the United States. So there's one called Women's Virtual Business Networking. There's another one called Black Business Virtual Networking. There's another one. So I'm just finding a plethora of networking events that have been very beneficial to my business. And I think yours as well.
Okay, great. Those are good suggestions. Thank you.
Wonderful. And then to add to it, you can create your own Eventbrite. So if you're creating your Facebook group, let's say you do maybe once a month, you do some sort of live workshop, and you can create that on Eventbrite, most definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I've used it to sign up for things. I hadn't thought about posting our events to Eventbrite. That's a really good suggestion.
Okay.
Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Love Fort Worth.
Thank you. Hey, love Fort Worth. Okay. Any other questions for Miss Jen? Okay. Kendall said, love the presentation, got to hop off, but great job, Jen. Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here today. Appreciate it.
No problem. Okay, well, Miss Jen, I hope we were able to help you answer the questions that you had. Wonderful presentation. We are so glad to have you, and we look forward to having you back. And again, you are welcome to join at any time, as we have other presenters presenting, and would love to get your feedback as well. So we're building this cohesive community, and we want to keep this tribe going. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Ms. Jen. I appreciate your time, and I know you have to go. Okay. Any other comments or questions about 1 Million Cups or any community announcements while we're transitioning? Anything else? Okay, Fatuma, I am going to make you a presenter, a co-host. Okay. Okay. Any community announcements, guys? Okay. Dennis, you have a community announcement this week? Can you guys still hear me?
We can.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes, I do, Angela. I just dropped it in the chat box, my announcement. This coming up Friday, Amy Razor will be speaking. I have all the information in the chat box. She'll be talking about how to be good at networking. We all go to quite a few networking events, and it'll be great to learn how to be better at doing what we do. So I'm looking forward to hearing Amy speak this coming up Friday, and I would encourage all of you to drop by and to support Amy, and also to support your own business as well. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey. Okay, Fatuma, I've made you a co-host, and we are ready to start when you are. And once you start, I will give you 6 minutes to make your presentation, and then we will have a 20-minute Q&A session. And so everyone, I want to introduce you to Fatuma and her partner, David. And they have created this unique, innovative product that allows you to carry more bags than you can possibly imagine. So this is something that every woman needs to have. And this is our dream from when we go shopping.
Thank you so much. That was a perfect explanation.
Wonderful. So Fatuma, it is your show. You have 6 minutes.
Okay.
Well, hi, my name is David. I'm the CEO of Tulindi.
Hello, my name is Fatima. I am the president of Chulindi. First of all, we would like to thank 1 Million Cup for this opportunity and everyone here. We are here to talk about our innovative product, Bag Grip It, the easy way to carry more.
First, we'd like to give a background story. I am a caregiver, and I currently work for an elderly man who uses his walker to get around. And conveniently, every time that I'm done grocery shopping, I borrow his walker to help me carry those bags. But then I figured out that a lot of people had a problem with their bags. So I decided to create a product that would help them carry their bags. And I researched the market, and I saw some products, for example, this one. And I read the reviews, and it was not very convenient. You can see that the hook is broken. People complained about the hook a lot. They also complained that the product was very flimsy. So I decided to create my own product that was going to be more reliable. And after 7 months of going through different designers and freelancers, I'm pleased to announce that this is our first prototype of Bag Grip It. Now, what separates our product from other existing products out there is quality, reliability, and durability. You can see, unlike the other products that you have to push, you constantly have to push this down and to fit your bags. It doesn't even, like it always clusters with the bags. And we decided that our product was going to be different. And this is a side-to-side view of it. So this is our product, and this is theirs. As you can see the difference. The reason why we created the bump on the bottom is to evenly distribute the weights so that, to evenly distribute the weights so that the hook would not break. And we also designed the hook in a manner that, hold on, I don't know if everyone can see this, in a manner that it won't break, just like this one.
Sorry, David. Can everyone see David right now?
Yes, and also we created an interior rib, which is almost like the skeleton of the product, as you can see in the video. So it creates durability for the product and it makes it strong. Next slide.
In this video, we are testing our 3D printed prototype after 7 months of going through freelancers and different designs. We finally decided on our final design and we made a 3D printed prototype. And this video, we are testing our prototype. We use the bottom bump to separate the grocery bags to evenly distribute the weights. And after using our prototype and we were satisfied with it, we decided to move forward and make our mold. And currently we are in the process of finishing our mold. These videos are videos of us testing our mold. The first video is our mold being tested with 44 pounds of weight. The second video is our mold being tested with 52 pounds of weight. And the last video is with 66 pounds of weight. So it is safe to say that bag grip pits can comfortably carry up to 50 pounds of weight. Sorry for the inconvenience here. So some of the resources that we have right now are our website. Our website is currently about 90% complete. It is designed to take pre-orders. We also have social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Handshake, and Twitter. We are most active on Instagram. Links to our social media accounts and websites will be in the chat room. We have our prototype and we also have crowdfunding campaigns on Indiegogo, and we are waiting to be approved for Kickstarter. Some of the resources that we need are one, exposure. We have been running social media ads to create awareness. We also need professional advice. We have been seeking out platforms like 1 Million Cup to get marketing advice, legal advice, and feedbacks on our product and how to market it. We also need financial support. We created crowdfunding campaigns such as Indiegogo to get that financial support so that we can get our first shipments.
And hopefully on the 11th, we can get a feedback from Kickstarter about being approved.
Thank you for adding that.
Oh.
To summarize our presentation, we are going to watch one of our crowdfunding campaign videos.
Hi, my name is David. I'm the CEO of Tulindi. I created a product called Grip It to help shoppers around the world carry multiple bags at once to help them save time alleviate pain, and also create convenience. I currently work for an elderly man who uses a walker to get around, and every time I'm done grocery shopping, I always borrow his walker to help me carry all those bags at once. Unfortunately for other people, they don't have the convenience of a device that can help them carry all those bags into their house. I started working on this product during the beginning of the pandemic, and after 7 months of going through so many freelancers because I was very persistent on creating the very best reliable product, I'm pleased to announce that we now have our first prototype of Grip It. I wanted it to have a modern design and look comfortable to grip, a stationary slide button, and a reliable hook, a bump on the bottom to evenly distribute the weight of the bags, and an interior rib to make it durable, estimated to carry up to 60 pounds of weight. Grip It is made out of 100% recycled plastic, which is our own way of making this product eco-friendly. I created this convenience for families, veterans, people with disabilities, people who don't have access to cars. Here are a few reviews that we've had from people.
Yeah, it worked really great, like super comfortable to use, really easy, like the locking mechanism is really great.
It's good to carry a lot of stuff when you go to the market.
And I mean, as like we engineer stuff all the time, so this is neat, especially with like sitting down your groceries and getting in because you don't have to like have all the bags in your hands. I mean, everybody's done that when you're like 16, right?
I think it's useful to keep for people who probably, can't really carry them anymore at the same time. It is something I could use.
Yeah, I really like something that's sturdy, like as a kid growing up, when my mom would tell me to go get groceries, I'd have to like get everything in one trip. So this would make it a little easier.
No, it's pretty convenient.
Yeah, I would, because the hassle of having like carry it together or just multiple in one hand.
I drop stuff, I rip stuff, we end up having to go back.
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's dope. Oh, that's cool. I'd definitely buy it.
This is my way of giving back to a country that's given me so much since I came here in 2013. Also, I created Tulindi as a way to give back to my country in Africa. Every time you purchase Grip It, you provide food for less fortunate families in Africa. You feed women and children. These and much more are the reasons why we want you to invest into this product. We can make a difference together. Thank you.
Wonderful. This is so awesome. This is so awesome. I can't believe this. This is just like, the future. It's just a simple tool, but it does so much. And I really needed this last night when I was hustling, busting, trying to get bags out the car because they said it could freeze in the morning. So I just went to Walmart and just grabbed some stuff. And this would have made my day a whole lot easier in the cold.
Well, so we can't wait to give it to you when it's ready.
Wonderful. So just a few questions before we get started. We have 16 minutes for Q&A. So, because I want to make sure we're mindful of everyone's time. So, a few questions. So, is your model in terms of getting this to consumer direct to consumer, or are you trying to get it to retail? And I know Ms. Jan put some comments in the chat box that she can help with making contacts to manufacturers and retailers and things like that. But what is your overall sales model? Have you thought about that?
Well, at the moment, we're focusing on our website as a means to get it to the consumer. But ultimately, we'd like to put it in retail stores and also make a deal with food delivery companies, because I feel like it'll be a very great tool for them.
And what is your price point? What's your target price point if you have a range?
Well, currently we're trying to raise fund, and we're almost done with our mold. We can't get well, according to the manufacturer, they can't give us an exact cost price, production price, until they're done with the final mold. And then they can determine, hey, this is the weight and this is how much, this is everything that we'll need to make this product. So this is exactly how much we are looking at. But we're estimating somewhere under somewhere under $5. So after we get that cost price, we will determine what is fair for the market.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Now, are you planning to offer the product in multiple colors, or will you have
yes.
You will. Okay.
Yes, if you go to our website, you'll see that we're going to have it available in 7 different colors. I believe pink, blue, red, green, purple, and a few other colors,
Oh,
orange.
no problem. Yeah, yeah, sure. Sure, wonderful. And I love the social element. I love the social element. I know you have a winning product here. And I'm so excited that you guys have done the work and gone through the process. I do feel that you would have a good reception to like local TV stations because a lot of times they're looking for like just, you know, just news is something different and innovative just to share with their audience. And you guys are, what area are you guys in?
Well, I live in Los Angeles, and Fatima.
I live in Minnesota.
In Minnesota, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the local news stations, they're looking for content. Looking for content, and that would be a way to help get the word out there. I would also suggest, so LeBeau has written a book on social media gems, and that's been, you know, really insightful for businesses. I think it's just a small fee, but I would suggest maybe picking that up. And then also, I know that running ads on, you know, Facebook and Instagram can be costly, but I feel like with the tool that you have, I feel like you can pick like, you know, get you a couple of millennials, you know, a couple of people that can create content for you and post that content without you guys having to pay a lot for, you know, for Facebook ads, and just be mindful of your budget because your product is so innovative and, you know, it can easily go viral.
Yeah.
I believe
we're looking to utilize
some influencers.
TikTok, utilize TikTok platform and Instagram. We're talking to different what are they called again? People who have good followers. Exactly. Thank you. Influencers.
Yeah, look for those influencers that maybe micro influencers, because a lot of those are they're looking to grow their audience versus somebody that has like 2 million followers where you have to pay them. So yeah, look for some of those micro influencers. That would certainly help. Okay, I'm going to stop talking and see if anyone else has any other comments and questions and some feedback for you guys.
Yeah, great presentation. Love the product, Fatima and David. So one of the challenges, I'll be a buyer for certain because I struggle with this all the time, and I'm always dropping things. This is a very crowded field. If you actually go out and Google it, right, there's a lot of products out there. In fact, you guys may well know there was a company that pitched on Shark Tank in December called Click and Carry. Don't know if you've seen those guys. Different design, but trying to solve the same problem. So my question to you is, how do we differentiate this product versus all the others are out there? And some look like kind of cheap versions which wouldn't hold up to much weight. How are you going to differentiate yourselves versus those other products that are in the market?
Well, I believe that's going to be our main focus, which is why we talked about it today, and that's the reason why I had the side-to-side presentation of their product and our product. As you can see, like this one, and you're right, it's very cheap. Once you go in the market, you can get it for way cheaper, but you have to be prepared to buy as many over, like, I don't know, maybe like 7 times a year as opposed to ours, because think about it. This was the first time that I used this product and this was already broken. I have another one that like literally broke into 2. And those are the things that we considered while we were making this product. As you can see, ours, there's not a product that has this design, this bump. And that's to tell you that we actually took time to consider, like, put ourselves in the shoes of every consumer. The reason why you need our product is only when you have multiple bags. So we created this to make sure that you evenly distribute that weight. So it's more comfortable and it's effortless when you carry it, as opposed to this that clusters down here.
So I think you're doing the right thing. I think continue to watch what comes on the market, continue to watch the competition, because that's key. Being educated about what other competitors are out there, so that you can promote the benefits of your product versus those is important. So
if I may add, there are three things that kind of sets us apart from any competition on the market: quality, our nonprofit side, and eco-friendliness. Quality is everything that David talked about. The design is very well thought through. We added a lot of features to make it durable, to make it stronger, to make it comfortable, the rubber, the interior rim, so that once you buy it, you don't have to come back again. You can use it for a long time. The other part is our nonprofit part. We are committed to take a percentage of our profit and help communities in different countries in Africa. The third point is our eco-friendly side, that we are using 100% recycled plastic to make our product. So these 3 points sets us apart from any competition out there.
And when you think about it, with so many people in the world, and we have like so many millions of people in in the United States, I feel that, you can definitely find your market. The lady with Click and Carry, she sold 300 units before coming down with breast cancer, which she had to halt her business. So once it picked back up, she was able to sell more. So I guess my point is that Chris is absolutely right, being able to hone in on your differentiation. But I do believe that there is still a market out there for your product. And I feel like there's enough people in the world where both products can coexist.
David always says, I'm sorry.
Oh, David.
Yeah, David always says that you can never, anything you want to make is already out there. All you could do is improve it.
Yeah.
I have a question. Along the lines of what Chris is saying, do you have any intellectual property protections? Because I think I was listening on How I Built This, and someone did one of the fundraisings, and they got a lot of money. But as soon as other people saw that, they started knocking it off. So all the work that they went into making a high quality product that was they were trying to differentiate. I think there was some Chinese people came in with knockoffs, and it really hurt the quality of their product because they thought it was that product because they named it almost the same thing. So do you have any intellectual property protections, and are you prepared for that kind of, if it goes crazy, people are going to do that? You know that, especially on a manufactured product.
Yes, we actually just filed our patent pending application, which was approved. So hopefully within a year we can file the provisional patent for that. So that's the only thing that we have. But if you have any advice, please, we're all ears.
Okay.
Yeah, Bill brings up a good point. Usually after things go to market, there's a knockoff in like 5 minutes later. So yeah, that's a really good point. Thank you so much, Bill.
Hey, David.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, one of the suggestions that I would recommend you to do is to actually take this product to a physical therapist or occupational therapist. One of the reasons is because people have carpal tunnel. If you could make it ergonomic, it would be phenomenal. That could be also a selling point.
Thank you very much, Jim.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. And then along with that, if you have someone who's a physical therapist that can provide you a demonstration video that you can post on,
exactly.
Facebook, Instagram, that would be helpful too. And I know you mentioned that, thanks, Jimmy, that's a good point. I know you mentioned that you can do pre-orders through your website. Can you also purchase through Instagram?
We're going to make sure, we're working on it.
To make sure all your social media.
Yes.
Again, think about the user experience, quick to purchase, because once they see it, they don't have to go looking for ways to purchase it. And people don't always like going from one platform to another. The other thing you can consider is Shopify. If you may think about
our website. Shopify is actually hosting our website. So, yeah.
Okay, wonderful, because they have a lot of tools and help too.
Yes.
Perfect. Yes. Wonderful.
Angela, I got a question.
Sure, go ahead.
First of all, I'm so proud of the two of you. You said you're from Africa. I'm from Africa. I am so, so proud of you. Which countries are you guys supporting?
I'm from Nigeria. I was born and raised.
Okay. And you, Fatima? Ethiopia?
I'm from Ethiopia.
Perfect. I'm from Kenya. I am so, so proud of you. That's number one. Number two, I think I see you guys only carrying anything that is in a grocery bag. What happens to the ones that are not in a grocery bag? Does somebody have to carry that? That's one question I have for you guys. And number two, I'll encourage you guys, the African community is so big here in America. I am in part of the groups that are here. I'll encourage you, since you say that you're going to be an NGO and you'll be supporting at home, please start those groups like in Facebook and try to see if they can help you. They may buy stuff to support back home, and I know that we do that a lot. So that's something to consider. So what happens to the big items?
So we can only carry, like, say you have water. There's no way for you to attach water.
Of course.
So hopefully once we raise enough capital with this first project, we can do a different design that can help people carry like stuff like water or any other product that cannot fit into a bag.
Mm-hmm. I did see that you guys were able to. That apple juice was a that one was good, because I struggle with that a lot. Yeah. So wonderful. Thank you so much.
And I have one more. Bill, okay. I think I lost you in contacts. Can you please send it? I have a question for you. So if you don't mind putting for us your contact information so we can reach out to you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Now, Terencia, any other questions in the chat box? You guys will just post your questions in the chat box, and Terencia can help us by reading out the questions and comments. Anything else? And the other thing,
so far, everyone has just been expressing their support and just their proudness of you guys and your product that you have just presented. There are no questions at the moment, but if you guys would enter any at this time.
Yeah, and Chris, I'm with you. I love the mission too. And I think that's what differentiates you guys. I think that social aspect. And David, your story is powerful. And I think that's what's really going to set you guys apart in that connection, because it's a real story solving a real need, and you've actually lived through it. And so I think that personal aspect is just going to really make the difference in how you guys sell it, and the fact that you have a social mission too. So I really think that's your differentiation as well.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. And then the other thing I would say, you know how they're like infomercials, at night, late at night, because they're like really cheaper. But if you ever get to the point where you raise enough money, you can think about like infomercials to consider, because those are really, there's still an audience out there for infomercials. And then I'm trying to think, is it QVC? Wait a minute. Is that the QVC network that always has, is it QVC? I think that may be QVC.
Yeah.
Is that QVC?
Laurie Grenier's network, yeah.
Yeah. So trying to get on places like that, like those. And with QVC, you have to make sure you have an inventory, because you can like sell out like extremely fast. So that's something to do. And you can take that QVC, aspect, the same principle, and do it on an Instagram Live.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So you're creating your own platform, but taking that same concept and doing it on Instagram Live and sell it, promote it. You could do it like once a week. That's something to consider as well.
All right. Awesome.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. And Fatuma's information is in the chat box, right, Tulindi? I think you posted already.
Yes, we have posted the link to our website and also the link to one of our crowdfunding campaigns, which we currently have Indiegogo. Yes, those two are in the.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. I am also placing my information in the contact as well. So if anyone needs to reach out for me for anything, and I think we've also placed LeBeau's contact information, her email in the chat box. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, but I just want to thank you guys for everything that you've done to help make this world a better place and giving back to communities. I think that's really important. And as 1 Million Cups organizers, we love to have people like you who have real stories, real solutions, and are transitioning to that entrepreneurial role. So we're very excited that you are taking the step forward. We support you, we appreciate you, and we love for you to come back at the time that you feel comfortable to give us an update on your business and how it's going, and if you've been able to implement some of the things that we suggested as a community, and just touch base with us. And we want you to know that we are your tribe. We're here. We want to support you because that's what we do for 1 Million Cups. We cafe entrepreneurs everywhere. So we'd love to have you to be a continued part of our community.
Thank you.
Okay. And then Fatuma, I'm going to reach out to you because I think I have a couple of ideas on some other groups you can reach out to help you guys. And then I'm going to also touch base with LeBeau, and maybe we could see what other, feedback or comments that she may have, because she'll watch the recording as well. And so she's also awesome. So LeBeau is very creative, and she knows a lot of people, has a lot of good networking, and she's really awesome when it comes to, strategies and growing businesses. So I'll definitely connect with her again and see if, there's some other things that she can suggest that can help you guys. Is that fair?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, we are at 10:01, and I think we are done. So thank you so much, Fatuma. Thank you, David, for your passion and coming on to present to us. Thank you, Ms. Jen, she's already gone. Thank you, 1 Million Cups community. Thank you for the announcements. It's been awesome, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. And have a blessed day. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Miss Angela, I have a question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a commercial or a video or sorry about that noise or anything like that, but I would like to present at some point in time. Do I have to? I'm not as detailed as coordinated as the last